Everyone, it's Alexis Cardoza.
What's up, everybody? It's the Wild Rhino Clark Connors from New Japan Pro Wrestling, and I am here getting wild, drinking an 805.
Hey, this is Billy Starks.
Rip F and Bison. I ran out of booze.
Join us because we're drinking at Moe's. I am the fire starter, the Carney Killer. I am born to die, Jake Christ.
This is Bobby Olson. We're drinking at Moe's. You better hit like and subscribe.
All right, everybody. I want to thank Reaper Apparel for having Drinking at Moe's be a brand ambassador. They encourage everybody to break out of that comfort zone, live their best self, which, hey, that's what got me starting the podcast. But they got great clothing, great apparel, t-shirts, hoodies, beanies, hats, all that good stuff. Be sure, link will be in the description, and use the code Drinking at Moe's to get 10% off your order. Let's fucking go.
All right, everybody. Drinking at Moe's, my 2 cents. We are back again, talking today about make it stop. Some things in the world of wrestling that we just begging to just make it stop. But before we get into all of that, as always, YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, share, all the good stuff. Help us with that pain in the ass YouTube algorithm, where most places you can find the audio podcast. So, all right, getting into it. Make it stop.
Make it stop.
So, I think you might know one of my topics because, hell, I've already joked about it on different shorts and stuff. Dirty Dom.
Oh.
The pushing of Dirty Dom. Now, I'll give him one thing. Yes, he is getting that heel reaction. People are booing the ever-loving shit out of him.
Mm-hmm.
But, god damn. Now he's got the NXT North American title.
Right.
And now it seems like I get it. They're a team. Judgment Day being there for him. But it's just like, if you ever want to prove that he can win without them, you are making it with every episode a further uphill battle for him to be able to do that, solely because, hell, you already have chance out there if he's not ready, and people booing him before he can even get a damn word out, and his team also not only just having to help him out in every damn match, they're also having to help, and maybe this is on the mic, maybe that's built in. Like, that's a whole part of the shtick where they end up having to help him finish the statement. And it's just like, it's just, goddamn, I'm not seeing any improvement at all anywhere. And then you take a North American title and put it on him, and you have plenty of people down there that could probably use having a title on them and that notoriety, but you're putting it on somebody that, when he first got to WWE, it was his dad carrying him.
Oh, yes.
Literally every moment.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's the rest of the people in Judgment Day carrying him everywhere. And I actually have this in my notes. This is a thing that I thought of when putting together my notes. The Guns, the Ass Boys, whatever you want to. Here's the thing. I've given them shit, but they have at least improved.
Oh yeah.
They
Definitely
have improved greatly. Dom, not so much.
So based on that, I've seen it in as long as I've been watching, especially now that you have indie companies that are affiliated with WWE to be a farm system before NXT. Okay. Like OVW used to be their, early days NXT. FCW, what was some of the other ones? Deep South Wrestling. They were the NXT before NXT was NXT. So, and there'd be times when you'd have some big star come in and he'd wrestle for a couple months and he'd disappear. Big Show, for example, they wanted him to work on his cardio, but because he was constantly on the road, he couldn't really work on his cardio. So what they do? They wrote him out of the stories, shipped him down to OVW, and he came back and he lost like 30, 40 pounds, I think. He came back looking a hell of a lot better than he did when he left.
Yeah.
You just see they will ship people. Oh, Jesus Christ. I can't even believe this name popped in my head. Eva Marie. Now, granted, you want to talk about someone that has not progressed. I mean, here's someone that probably even shouldn't have sniffed a wrestling ring.
Yeah.
They shipped her off to California to train under Brian Kendrick. And when she came back, granted, she seemed a little better, but her attitude was still about the same. And then she left again. I don't know. I can't remember if she got let go or if she got fired. And then apparently weaseled her way back into a WWE contract for 3-4 months. And now she's gone again. Finally, someone got in her head and said, you know what? This probably isn't for you. But it's just the fact that if they're not ready, if they thought they were ready and they bring them up, most of the people who get called up from NXT, that's something they need to stop. They will send them back down somewhere else to get that training. Now, you could say Dom is the North American champion down in NXT because Dom needs that extra training. Well, how are you going to get that extra training if he's also going wherever Raw is?
Yep.
Unless it's put him wherever Raw is, and then send him back down to Florida shortly after that, so he's there for NXT the next night, and he just stays there until he's supposed to go to Monday Night Raw, wherever it is. That'd be a smart thing to do. Whether they actually do it or not, that's another story.
Yeah. And, you bring up the thing with the Big Show. It seems like Dom is about ready for something similar to that because, you think he never got that work in NXT and then getting called up treatment. He just got thrown right in there.
He got thrown right in. Well, yeah, he was one of the ones that came in during the pandemic.
Yeah.
He was stepping up for his dad. I can't remember if the Seth Rollins feud or if the Brock Lesnar feud was first, but they were somewhere around in there. His first match was against Seth Rollins.
Yeah. Yeah, nope, I remember that. And it's just like,
and that kind of showed everyone how Seth Rollins can carry a match.
Yeah, that he did. And it's just, to me, I don't know. It would be one thing if he just got sent down to NXT and that's where he stayed. But it's like, for that to work right now, since you kind of wrote him in with the whole Judgment Day thing, it would almost be a situation where he would have to get kicked out and then retooled down in NXT, which especially right now, I don't see them doing. but it's just
The only way that would work is if you he gets kicked out. You kick him out of Judgment Day. You take the North American title off him and give it to whoever's next in line to wear it, and then you take him off TV. You take him off TV. You send him somewhere else where all he's going to do is train. He's not in front of anybody. He doesn't go to shows. He just trains. You can send him. Hell, I don't even know if they have anyone else that they would do that for. But you just send him somewhere to train. Get those licks in. Get his wind. Get his cardio down. Get the timing down because his timing sucks.
yeah.
And just get everything right to where you could actually bring him back to NXT, and then he'd be well ahead of anyone else that they've signed lately because he's already got some form of training from his dad, and then whoever else trains him after you take him off TV, and then after that, you just rewrite him a whole different character. Whether you bring in the Dirty Dom, whether you make him Dominic Mysterio again, or you just give him a whole complete different character, one that he can form on his own.
Yeah. Although with the way some stuff is going down in NXT right now, I don't know how confident I am in them doing that, but hey, it's whatever. I could go.
And NXT is trying to do the best they can with what they got.
Yeah. Although you'd think with minds they have there behind the scenes, they'd be able to do a little better job of it. But that's a whole other topic for another time. Now, my other thing that I just, and we've talked about it in some other episodes, Ring of Honor titles not really being on Ring of Honor programming.
Except for the women's title.
Except for the women's title, yes. Athena is frequently there.
Mm-hmm.
But the world title, I don't see there that often anymore.
No,
you see tag titles.
You see it. You see the world title more on Dynamite and Rampage.
Same with the Ring of Honor tag titles.
Mm-hmm.
Same with the damn 6-man titles.
Mm-hmm.
I think Shibata is, concentrating now more on stuff with New Japan and stuff over there in Japan. So,
right.
I mean, he has somewhat of an excuse, but at least with him, his title isn't on the other AEW programming.
Right.
As opposed to on Ring of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just from the very go when I heard they were, Tony Khan bought Ring of Honor, that they were bringing back Honor Club, and that's where Ring of Honor TV was going to be.
Right.
I was like, you know what? This might be nice if the titles were something, they were completely separate. They were on Ring of Honor programming. You build stories around them. And on one hand, I get, putting eyes on the Ring of Honor programs. Like,
right.
Hey, the champion's over here. Hey, I might want to go check out that programming. I want to go check out Ring of Honor. But when you don't in that turn have that champion go on that programming, you're not making that work.
No.
And it's just completely confusing as hell, for one thing.
Oh yeah.
And
and to go off of that, when they brought Ring of Honor back, Jonathan Gresham was the champion. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. Bandito was the world champ. He couldn't make the show for Final Battle, which was the actual final Ring of Honor pay-per-view. So they had to do something. So they put Jonathan Gresham and Jay Lethal in there. for the world title, which I think were two of the best wrestlers in Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
And Jonathan Gresham wins the world championship. Awesome.
I think that was Supercard of Honor.
Was it Supercard?
I wanted to say it was Supercard. Final Battle was the final Ring of Honor pay-per-view before they went on a little bit of a hiatus before Tony Khan bought it. And then, yeah, that was where Jonathan Gresham was supposed to have.
I don't know.
Jonathan Gresham was supposed to have a match against Bandito, but then Bandito couldn't make it. And then they had wait, what was it?
No.
I am forgetting. You know, I think it was Bandito wasn't able to be there. So then they had a match, and then Jonathan Gresham became the Ring of Honor champion. That
right.
The match itself wasn't actually initially for the Ring of Honor title, but they ended up bringing back the old design, and Jonathan Gresham was the champion. And then the Supercard of Honor, I'm trying to remember. I want to say that was actually where they had the match with Jonathan Gresham and Bandito, where they unified it.
Right.
And then, yeah, but regardless,
what they should do is they should take all the Ring of Honor titles, put them on Ring of Honor TV, putting them on AEW shows.
Yeah,
anyone that's an AEW contract wrestler should not hold Ring of Honor titles.
In my head, that would be nice, because I don't know of too many people that are signed exclusively just to Ring of Honor.
There's a handful that you'll see on TV, on Ring of Honor TV, on Honor Club, and you don't see them on.
Although,
yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that even now they're bringing in people that initially were basically just featured on Ring of Honor programming, and now they're, I mean, hell, just last night I saw stuff for The Righteous on Collision, and they've had Dalton Castle. He's, more on AEW programming now, so that's, the lines are kind of blurring. I didn't mean to interrupt, but the lines are definitely blurring.
They're definitely blurred.
And it's just, to me, if you want to have a champion from Ring of Honor go on to AEW programming, hey, cool. You see them, then have them actually show up on Ring of Honor programming. Have them defend the titles on Ring of Honor programming. And because you're not helping the shows mean anything, the titles may still mean what they would, but the shows itself do not really mean much if you're not gonna have that promotion's champions on that show.
Right.
And it's, I don't know.
I mean, hell, last time I saw Samoa Joe on a Ring of Honor card when he was getting handed a redesigned TV title.
Yeah.
And then after that, he laughed at everyone, and unless he's been on one of their honor cards that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah. I mean, I recently had to do some cuts, and Honor Club ended up being one of them. And because, in all honesty, in part because of stuff that I've been talking about, I haven't been watching as much of the Ring of Honor program as I might like to.
Right.
As much as I anticipated doing it when I initially subscribed to Honor Club, because I thought, hey, cool, we'll actually get to see all this stuff. And then it just, it's one of those things right now that I've made this statement that Tony Khan needs to learn to delegate. Yes, be the final. You can have the final say.
Mhm.
Be the guy that everybody goes to, like, hey, this is the lineup we got. This is the stories we got. Did they get your approval? Then okay,
Mhm.
boom, there they go. Or improve something here, kind of, and then maybe giving them an idea, and then let them go.
Right.
But it's just he's already spread himself so thin with, with Dynamite, with Rampage, with Collision now, with Ring of Honor, and it's just, I don't know. It all just needs to stop. You need to. It would be cool if they would have Ring of Honor. It's obviously not AEW, but owned by the same person.
Right.
But it would be like it's a separate brand. Make it separate. If you want to do conjoined things, like we said, by all means, get eyes on your product, but then get that person back on that brand, because you're not doing anybody any favors.
Especially not doing your brand any favors.
No, most definitely. Well, before I go into a ramble and start repeating stuff, because goddamn, I know I've been guilty of doing that before. That is about all I have for this topic. I know you mentioned you didn't have anything for this topic, but we'll get going. We got more recording to do, more topics to go over, because I am busy the next couple weeks. So we got to get content out there. Anyways, let's fucking go.